go ahead and start out with our, we got a 2.3 millimeter tungsten bead on our 2488 hook, and this is a size 14. I think the original recipe called for a different style hook, but I actually like this more pupa style hook. We're going to go ahead and start our thread, which is just some UTC 70 denier, and tie that right in behind the bead. And then what we'll do here is we're going to work back with our wire and our tinsel. And so as far as the wire goes, I'm going to use some green brassy wire. That's going to add a little bit of contrast to the color of the body. And then I'm going to use some pearl tinsel. And so the first thing I'll do is I'll just tie in the wire and tie that in a little bit, and we're going to just let this hang out. And then I'm going to tie in the tinsel. This is going to be the body, kind of the base of the body. And just right there where I tied that in. Work that back. To about the point where the barb is on my hook. I don't need to go all the way back because the body's going to extend back off of this. And so we're going to leave these here for just a second. And I'm going to wrap my thread up to about the thorax area, right before my bead. And what I want to do now is I want to wrap the body with my tinsel. And so we're just going to do that to give the body this is just a nice little flashy body is what it's going to do. Notice these little bead elastic holders. They're great for tinsel and wire. Okay, once we've got that in, I will tie in my ultra chenille. And so what I've got here is some hairline ultra chenille. This is a micro size and the color is olive. If you want to get the stuff that's used in the actual fox pupa pattern, you can go to flyshop.com and order the vernille in the amber. That's probably one of the more popular colors, but I actually do better in this olive. It's just going to depend on the colors you have around where you're fishing. So I'm going to go ahead and snip off a little bit of this. And one of the first things you want to do once you get this is kind of measure off how much you want. And I'll get some extra, but you want it hanging off the back by about a third the length of the hook or so, or the shank, or thereabouts. But when you kind of have that idea, you also want to take your lighter, and we're going to singe just a little bit of the back end of this off. Not much. Alright, we've got that singed. So now I'm going to tie that in with the overlap there, the extended body, again by about a third of the length of the shank, and tie this in right behind the eye, like so. Now, kind of clean that up. Now what I'm going to do with my wire is I'm going to take just a couple wraps. I don't like to do a whole lot of wraps on this because I like it to kind of hang free. So I'm going to do a couple of my first wraps just without tying onto the ultra chenille. And then once I get it closer to the body, or to the thorax area, I will just bring that down on top of the ultra chenille like so, and then do one more wrap with that, and then tie that off. So really I've only gone 2 wraps on the chenille, or the vernille. And then again I'm going to grab my not so great scissors, and I will cut the wire. So that's basically what we're looking at right there. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to take some Hungarian partridge. This is an olive skin. This is a dyed partridge. And this is really, really good stuff for soft tackles and the like. So I'm just going to kind of grab a piece of this. It'll be the right size. Going to measure that, basically what I want here, and then just tie that in underneath. And this will be the legs. Snip that off. Now for the antenna, we're just going to use some wood duck. And this step is probably optional. I don't think you're going to miss any fish because you don't have nice antenna. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and grab some wood duck. You can use mallard flank too. And just a couple of big long strands of it, and we'll tie that in on top. So basically just going to take a piece like this, and you want that to extend quite a ways past the end of the body, probably about 3/4 longer than the extended body is, and you want to just keep that on top. And for the last piece, we're going to tie in some ostrich herl. A lot of times I actually use peacock herl, but the recipe does call for ostrich herl, so we're going to go ahead and tie that in. I like to get a little bit towards the not so thick area and tie that in. And then we're just going to go ahead and wrap that. Tie it off. Whip finish. There we go. That's our fox Poopah.